Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has insisted on the adoption of the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BIVAS, and the INEC Result Viewing Portal for the 2023 general election. The Commission notes that the introduction of BIVAS and IREV, which is a technology to upload election results in real time, is to ensure a free, fair and credible election. This follows allegation of moves recently by some political actors to prevail on INEC to drop BIVAS and return to the use of incident forms in the accreditation of voters in the coming elections. While the presidential and National Assembly elections are scheduled for February the 25th, the governorship and state houses of assembly elections will hold 2 weeks later on March the 11th. General Secretary, Alliance for Credible Elections, Umma Odi, joins us now to speak on the role of technology in the 2023 elections. Good to have you on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Imma, how would you assess INEC's preparation for the 2023 election? Now, a lot of Nigerians are hopeful that the use of BIVAS and electronic transmission of results will go a long way to make the process more transparent. But there are some who are worried that it might be manipulated during the electronic transmission of results, especially with poor network that we sometimes experience in Nigeria, maybe in the rural areas. What's your take on that?
Okay, INEC has repeatedly told us that they are ready for election year 2023. So if, and you know from history, that since the return to civilian rule 23 years ago, INEC has made effort, especially since year 2011 general elections, to make improvement, achieve stride. But the political parties and actors have always been drawing INEC back. So INEC have conducted the elections in Ekiti, in Edo year 2020, in Ondo year 2020, in Anambra year 2021, in Ekiti year 2022, using BIVAS from Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun. And we have seen the great difference and departure from these elections INEC has conducted. And also the results were, especially in Osun and also Ekiti, the results were uploaded on time. So any political party that is talking about not having network is actually looking at the ways they can rig elections. And we know that from history that political parties and actors have used incident form to rig elections. And you could remember that in the past, while people are voting, they are always announcing results. But the current INEC, since year 2011, have made appreciable progress in organizing free, fair, peaceful, credible election, especially since year 2020. So we all need to support INEC. INEC have told us, even last week when we had a meeting with the chairman of the INEC, Professor Yakub, with the situation room, a civil society situation room in Nigeria, Wednesday last week. He told us that he's ready for the elections and he's going to use BIVAS. All we need to do is to support INEC that told us they are ready. And because INEC alone cannot support itself and ensure that BIVAS is used. Because this BIVAS was used to register voters. And it's all encompassing. He's supposed to register, authenticate, verify, and upload results. So no aspect of it will be discarded. So what we are telling political actors and parties that they will not lead this election, because the people that are left in Nigeria, many people have left Nigeria to other countries, but the people who are left have this hope that their votes will count and the result will reflect their preferences and choice. Even if anybody makes a wrong choice, let the choice be reflected in the counting of votes. And because actually the BIVAS will help us to reduce insecurity during elections. Because if you know that the results have uploaded from polling units to the central portal, so there is no need for the thugs who usually hijack the results from polling units to the registration center for the correction of results, who usually come to hijack it. We know that they are wasting their time. it will reduce insecurity and violence during election. We are supporting INEC to use BIVAS and upload results. Every politician that says that they don't have network in their community or village is telling a lie, because people transfer money to their families in those communities and villages. All they are saying is they are looking for ways to rig this election, and it will not happen because the people are aware. But we are asking every civil society person, every citizen, to support INEC and ensure that INEC, because they have promised us repeatedly that they are going to use BIVAS, and they will upload results from polling units. And you don't need network to just test your result to the portal.
Yes.
So, and like we saw in Osun, there are some INEC staff that were saying they don't have recharge card. I think INEC should also address the issue. The citizens bought them recharge card, that any INEC person that tries to compromise will be seriously dealt with. Thank you.
Very, very well said. We know, well, you just described that there have been creative attempts to scuttle and rig, especially in the past. But we know we're in the information technology age, so we would have moved past people picking up physical ballots and discarding or adding to them, especially now that the BIVAS is a technological advancement. Does it concern you that there might be other creative ways of hacking into this BIVAS? And is INEC prepared to encounter it on that front? We do know physically INEC is working very hard to make sure that the elections aren't scuttled, but we do know that technology is another end of this equation in which Nigeria does not tend to be the strongest in. Do you think that INEC will be able to combat any cyber threats?
In this election, the 2023 general election is very interesting. INEC is using both the result to the portal and also the result as written by hand. So it's dual, where if you hack the result from the portal, you have not hacked the one with the polling unit INEC officials, which every political party that is in the polling unit has, even the police has. All we are advising every political party to make sure their agents are in the polling units and not to be talking. They need to work and also train their agents and pay them, because if you don't pay them, other political parties will pay them and use them against you. To pay them and make them comfortable, and also to ensure that they correct the result sheets from the polling units, because there is a provision that after the result is written, before it is even uploaded to the portal, is being given to political parties agents and the security personnel. So they are using both the one on paper and the one on portal. And I'm also sure that INEC is working assiduously to ensure that their server is not being hacked. But if you are trying to hack their server, or also to duplicate the result to favor you, it might not work, because they are going to use both result from the polling units, the hard copy, and also the one that has been uploaded to the server. But in any dispute, the one uploaded to the server will take preeminence.
Well, talking about some of the challenges that could be encountered during the 2023 election, the Coalition of United Political Party recently alleged that a prominent political party has concluded plans to engage in digital vote buying so as to manipulate the voting process. According to them, the party has concluded plans to transfer cash to voters via her vested bank accounts. Now, how can INEC, thwart such plans if indeed it's true?
Okay, it has happened in the past. In Ekiti year 2018, voters were, and it's even better when they pay the money to voters. Because when you pay the money to voters, voters can actually come to polling unit and vote for the political party of their choice. And we even saw in Osun State, people who collected money from political parties and voted for other political parties. It makes their case easy, unlike what we see in Ekiti, where you will vote and you will show the political party you voted for before you correct your money. Ekiti, June, year 2022. So if they have, I have heard so many stories of politicians going to correct bank accounts of voters and trying to copy the PVC's number. It will not help anybody. Because the vote as voted at the polling units, that counts. And you cannot come. What we're actually telling INEC is that they should ensure the secrecy of the ballots by ensuring that nobody is monitoring the voter who goes to vote. We saw some cases in Osun that people will come and be watching whom a voter votes for. So if you ensure the secrecy of the ballots, that ensure that the ballot boxes are kept a bit distance from where political party agents and the INEC personnel are seated. So it will ensure that nobody monitors who votes for what. And it will solve a lot of problem of rigging and vote buying. Because if you allow somebody to go and vote without showing political party agents whom he or she voted for, the money you paid, you are not even sure that the money is being used for your own interest. So, and also INEC has promised us they have new guidelines which they just released against vote buying, and they are going to ensure that EFCC or all agencies against money laundering are going to be there to ensure that vote buying is a thing of the past. But it is also instructional that INEC used the strategy they used in year 2018 Osun governorship election, when they declared that if they see anybody buying or selling or vote, it will be shoot aside. So nobody even came to shoot, but people actually, that was when Osun employed a strategic coded vote buying, that you cannot see who pays for what. You won't see anybody coming to negotiate like what we saw in Ekiti year 2022, June, where people openly negotiate, pay for openly. So, but if INEC can ensure that the EFCC is not the EFCC when they finish paying for primary votes during the presidential special conventions, they storm the stadium after they have finished paying in the hotel rooms. There is the EFCC that will have their personnel or other personnel that we saw that worked in Osun governorship election in the polling units, even before the INEC personnel come to the polling units. Let those security people, DSS, EFCC officials, let them be there for those who want to come and force their way. Because I know and also we need our citizens to escalate our discussion against vote buying, because those who want to say their votes are the enemies of Nigeria, because Nigeria is not working. And our hope is that if we get it right in the election of year 2023 general election, that we will have a good product that will ensure good, transparent and accountable governance and good governance. And the suffering we are going through, and our youth will stop going to the other countries and come and sit with us to ensure that Nigeria works. Nigeria will not work if you say your votes. You can't say your vote and come and complain that a bag of rice is 50,000. This is the time to ensure that the bag of rice will come back to either 19,000 or 20,000 if you vote right. You can't say for 5,000 or 10,000 and come and complain. We need to actually up our game against this vote buying, because vote buying and political parties and insecurity is the greatest threat against the 2023 general elections.
Now, does it concern you when you hear statements from elected officials who are quite prominent, especially since you're speaking about supporting the INEC, since we know that their job is quite hefty and extremely important for our democracy? Does it concern you when you hear statements such as those from the APC national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, last week while addressing the Commonwealth delegation for the 2023 elections? he was expressing his doubts over the feasibility or even success of the electronic transmissions and INEC's ability to carry that out. What do you have to say when prominent officials throw doubt onto the desk of INEC and what they are capable of?
Actually, the chairman of APC party is actually testing the waters. They want to rig elections and they want to know. You know, he was a senator in the Senate. They refused. They say they do not have network in their communities. It was the Nigerians who rose and ensured that the Senate did not scuttle year 2022 electoral bill that became act. Because we did not keep silent. He is trying to test the waters. And Nigerians are saying, it's not possible again. You can't come and rig elections like you people used to do in the past. So he tested the waters and saw that we are ready. But continuously, we will be engaging them. We need to engage them till 25th of February 2023 to ensure that votes are cast. And the votes cast reflect the choices and preferences of Nigerians. No party is allowed, whether APC or PDP or NNPP or Labour Party or ANC, no party or ABGA, no party is allowed to come and rig this election. And the people will make the difference. I saw it work in Osun State. And I'm sure if the people decide that there will be no rigging, there will be no rigging.
Well, I like your optimism, but just before we let you go, can you talk about the level of security, or should we say insecurity in Nigeria in the run-up to the election? INEC officers in different states of the Federation, they've come under arson attacks. So how do you think this will affect the credibility of the elections, and what measures do you expect to be put in place to safeguard INEC facilities and personnel going forward?
Okay, I will go back to where I started. I say as INEC is progressing and citizens are progressing in the electoral process and elections in Nigeria, political parties are going backwards. It's their talks they are using, like in Ebonyi State. They burnt a whole local government INEC office, including all the ballot boxes and papers. And I don't know what they want to benefit from it. It's the same political parties that are doing it. They do not want elections to hold. And that election will hold. Like we said in Anambra year 2021, last year, all the insecurity and everything, INEC said the election will hold. And election held. And in the first 3 months after the elections, the insecurity died down. Most of this insecurity we are seeing is against the elections. They don't want to leave, despite their bad governance. They are stealing and corruption. They want to remain there. But the citizens have made up their mind that election will hold. And we are starting with INEC, because INEC said we are prepared to organize this election. And election will hold. And we will use BIVAS. So we are supporting INEC and also engaging them, because talk is cheap. We want to see action. We also want INEC to live above board. We don't want anybody to use INEC to rig election. We do not want political parties and their actors to come and rig the election for us. We want to support INEC. But when we see that INEC is by any means compromising, we will bring them to the public and say, you are not doing what you say you are doing. So we are engaging every set of political parties, political candidates, INEC, the umpire, even the judiciary that want to give us result and elected candidates. We are saying no, judiciary. Allow our votes to count and our preferences and choices to reflect the outcome of elections. We are engaging all of them. And the security personnel, who are also, they are Nigerians, and we are all buying things from the same market. We are also telling them that this election year 2023 is very critical. It's going to ensure whether Nigeria will move forward or Nigeria is destroyed. The last hope is this election, because many people have gone. They have left Nigeria. If you did not allow it to work, you will see where to govern. So they should allow this election to hold, so that the fortunate ones will win elections. Even if people are making mistakes, let them make mistakes and let our choices reflect in the outcome of the election.
And with that said, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Ma Odi, the General Secretary, Alliance for Credible Elections. Thank you for this important discussion you had with us.